Hi folks, I'm Ian Baker, the product specialist with Camping World, and today we're going to go over the 2018 Springdale 332RB. This is a great triple bunk model. It has a great floor plan setup with the island kitchen, and you have theater seating directly across from the TV. Let's start off right over here on our super slide. So you'll see that you have your dinette. The thing I like about this, there's a couple different things. One is the fact that this table is removable. So you can take this completely out if you want. The thing I like about that is you can actually bring it over here to the theater seating, and it swings down into place. You can actually swing that down and basically set it up like a little coffee table. So it gives you a spot, if you want to put your feet up there, you can do that. But you probably wouldn't, seeing as how they're recliners. But more importantly, again, just creates a nice little coffee table. So if you're sitting there in the morning having a cup of coffee, it's pretty cool. Also, it does drop down into a bed, same style. Swing that down, sits right there. Take the cushions, put it on top. That will create a sleeping space. So I certainly enjoy it for that. Also, the booth does have little accent lights underneath. I think that's kind of nice. Just, again, helps add a little pop and flair to the unit. And you'll see you have windows all the way around. They took this window basically all the way up to the ceiling, which is great to really maximize the amount of light that's coming in during the day. Plus, this will be your best view out to the campsite. So they wanted to make that window as big as possible. Couple of lights right up top here. And if you look right in between the dinette and the theater seating, you'll see dual USB ports, which give you a place to charge your electronics. If we take a look up top, you kind of have like the honeycomb pattern on the glass. It's pretty neat. Open that up and you'll see the storage, a couple different storage areas there. And then right down below again is that theater seating. So when we sit down in here, this is definitely the most comfortable place to sit. It kind of naturally has a lean to the back, which is great. Again, makes it comfortable, makes you want to fall asleep. You have some cup holders here as well, couple armrests too, which are great. And as I mentioned, both of these do recline. You have this little lever right here. You pull the lever and the feet will come up. But straight across from that is your entertainment center. So I love it. This is pretty tough to do in a bunk model when you have a rear bunk like this. A lot of floor plans, you'll have to kind of look off to the side to be able to get the TV. But here they managed to have it straight across from the theater seating, which is pretty neat. Plus, it is on a swing arm mount. So if you want to swing that around to the dinette, or maybe you want to put a cooking show on while you're cooking, you can swing that around and watch it in the kitchen there as well. Directly underneath that, you have your little radio right here. This unit is Bluetooth capable, which is pretty great. So if you have music on your phone, or if you've downloaded the latest Stories from the Road podcast, you want to listen to that while you're camping, you can hook up to this via Bluetooth, listen to it in these speakers right here, or you can use this selector to change it to the speakers outside, or both at the same time. This is the bunk room right here. We'll take a look at that in a second. You also have your hanging rack right over here, which is pretty cool. Electrical outlet there right down underneath. You do have storage both on top and bottom of this entertainment center in here too, folks. You can see that right there. And then down below and off to this side here, you have your thermostat, your water heater. Notice that it does run off both gas and electric. You can turn both those on at the same time for faster recovery. And directly underneath that is your tank monitoring panel and your water pump. Now we come around the corner and we start to get into the kitchen, and I absolutely love the kitchen in this floor plan. Because you have dual opposing slides here, it allows for a center island, which gives you a lot of prep space. And folks, this one has a ton of storage. Starting off with this pantry right here. Take a look at this. We open this up and you have massive storage running all the way through here. I think this is phenomenal. You can put, a lot of your bigger items in here, whether it's your pots and pans or, big bags of chips. You can put in your own, storage system, so you can kind of divide it off, be able to use it however you want it. But that's a lot of extra storage space you normally don't get in a bunk model. Again, center island right here. You get prep space off to the side, which is great. It also does come with a sink top cover, so you can utilize that as prep space. And you have a high-rise pull-out faucet, so that way it is super simple to wash and rinse dishes. We take a look in the front right here. You'll see you have a bank of 4 drawers, so plenty of drawer space. You also have storage right underneath the sink. Right there is that sink top cover I had mentioned, but there is enough space there. You can put a trash can if you so desire. And then on both ends, you have an electrical outlet in case you want to plug anything in. 7 cubic foot fridge freezer combo. You'll notice it has the stainless steel front. A little bit easier to operate than most. You just kind of take it and pull it like so. Now when we open that up, you'll notice that it has this right here I like. It has plastic covering on the fins. That way you don't damage your fins. Or, you know, if you put like a jug or something in there, it's not damaging the jug, not cutting that open either. So definitely a pretty nice fridge-freezer combo there. This unit does run off both propane and electric and also has automatic switchover. Taking another step this way, you'll see that you do have some countertop space here as well. An electrical outlet, perfect spot for a coffee maker in my opinion. Window there, LED light too to help brighten things up. You have your microwave over here to the side. This unit is pretty heavy, folks. It's definitely not light, so you will need a bigger truck to be able to pull this, at least a half ton. And then right down underneath that is your hood with a light and a fan. You also have your 3-burner cooktop. The front one is high output. And then underneath that is your oven in case you want to do some baking. And 2 more drawers right here. So 6 drawers right here in this main kitchen space, as I mentioned. Just plenty of storage all the way throughout. And if that's not quite enough, you do have this additional storage here. Now, granted, it's not super deep, but my opinion, this makes a great pantry. I mean, you can still fit a box of Pop-Tarts in there, or marshmallows, or bag of chips, canned goods. I think that's still plenty deep for a lot of those items. Then as we make our way kind of out of the kitchen, you will see once again you have another coat rack here. This one's cool because it is right next to the door. So as soon as you walk in, you can hang your jackets and everything up. But you do have one back by the bunkhouse too. So that way if you want to put your jackets here and the kids' ones back there, you have the capability to do that. And then we step back into the big, beautiful bunkhouse. You can see you have plenty of room here thanks to the slide. You also have a door, so there is some extra privacy or, a little bit of noise barriers. That way, if you're staying up watching TV or hanging out, you can close the door so the kids can sleep. One of my favorite parts about the bunk room is this right here, folks. As soon as you walk in, take a look at this. Amazing extra storage there. Far too often, bunk rooms just don't have storage, and this one has quite a bit, so that way you can put, your folded clothes in there. You can put a tension rod if you want to be able to hang stuff up. You can put a dirty laundry basket in there. It just gives you all sorts of options. Then here in the slide out, this top bunk has 300-pound weight capacity, which is pretty good for a single bunk. So that way, if you need an adult to sleep in here, you can do that too. It does lift up. You'll see it's strut assisted, just like so. So it's easy to lift up. Same thing to drop right back down. Light on both the top and bottom. And then right down below, you have your cube-style sofas. So both of these do fold out, makes a large bed, which is great. Again, if you have adults sleeping, or if you have older kids that are coming camping with you, that is probably the bed that they will want, just because it is a little bit bigger. Big window here in the back to let in some natural light. Also gives you a good view out the back. Electrical outlet right underneath. And then over here will be your TV hookup. So if you want TV in here, that's where it'll go. You'll see you have a built-in ladder, which is super convenient because generally the kids that want to sleep in the top bunks are the smaller ones, and they have a hard time getting up in the top bunks. The ladder makes that nice and easy for them. This one is also 300-pound weight capacity. You can see you have a window there too. Some additional storage right there. And if we take a look right down below, this is your fuse panel as well as your breakers. If we take a look at the ceiling here in the bunk room, you will see that you have a vent in case you want to have some airflow through here. Of course, you have ducted AC as well. Speaking of AC, you'll also notice this right here, folks. If you want a second AC, you can have one installed. That way it'll help keep the coach that much cooler on the hot days. The bathroom has 2 entrances and exits, one into the main living area, the other one into the master bedroom. Right over here is your foot flush lever toilet. As you'll see, I have plenty of leg room. I'm pretty wide in the shoulders and I have sufficient shoulder room too. Right next to that is the neo-angle shower. Now you'll see that there is some antifreeze left in there from winterization. But the cool thing about this shower though, folks, is the roller doors. So after you're done showering and you open up the doors, all the water goes right down into the shower pan, rather than having like a swing door where you open it up and it tends to drip all over your floor, or a shower curtain which just gets water everywhere. You'll also see that you have some shelves in there as well as a hand wand and a skylight too. I'll step in here just to give you an idea of height. So the cool thing about this one is it does have the barreled ceiling, which adds a little bit extra height. I'm 6 foot, and as you can see, I can stand underneath, I can stand in the shower without having to get underneath the skylight, but with that skylight adds a couple extra inches. So even if you're 6'3", 6'4", you'll probably still be able to stand up underneath that skylight there. And then you'll also see that you have the hand wand there just to make showering a little bit easier. Right outside of the shower is your mirrored medicine cabinet with storage. You have your electrical outlet there, your sink, and a little additional storage underneath. The master bedroom has a queen bed. I'll lift this up for you. You'll see it is strut supported, so again, it's easy to lift up as well as drop back down. And that gives you good access to a large storage area for some of your bigger items. Both sides have mirrored wardrobes. You'll see the hanging rod going across the top there, so you have a place to hang clothes. And directly underneath that, you have some good nightstands there with electrical outlets and a pull-out drawer. The one side over here also has a clothes hamper. So what you can do is you put your laundry basket right in your pass-through there. When you're done for the day, you take your clothes off, throw them right down in there. That way it's not cluttering up your camper. You'll also see you have storage going across the top here. You can take a look at that. LED light underneath. Window on both sides. The one side is an emergency exit. You have a vent in the ceiling there in case you don't want to run AC. You can get some crosswind coming through here, help with the ventilation. And lastly, if you want TV, your hookups are right up top. Now that we've seen the inside, let's take a look at some of the outside features on the Springdale 332RB. Right up front here, folks, you have a power tongue jack. This makes it really easy to hook up and disconnect from your tow vehicle. All you have to do is flip the switch here. That will raise and lower the tongue. You also see you have a light, which will give you a little extra visibility at night. Directly behind that, you have your two 30-pound propane tanks with the cover. So bigger tanks, that way you can stay out a little bit longer. You'll have more heat. And then directly behind that, you see rails there for your batteries. And then you'll also notice the diamond plating coming up the front here, which helps protect the front end from some of the rocks and debris that may get thrown up by the tow vehicle. You'll also notice this one has a 3-year structural warranty, which is the best in the industry. And you have the smooth aluminum front rather than the ribbed, which gives a much more pleasing aesthetic. It's a lot nicer to look at. Plus, it's easier to clean. You know, this is generally what gets dirty when going down the roads where all your bugs and everything will get smashed on, and having the smooth aluminum is easier to clean. Coming around the side, you can take a look at the pass-through there. You'll see it is a little bit smaller door on the other side, but overall it is pretty good space. And again, this is where you'd want to set up that laundry basket for your dirty clothes hamper there. But pretty big door on this side, so you can fit some larger items in while traveling. Right down underneath, you will see that this unit has power stabilizer jacks. Now, mind you, these are just for stabilization. It is not auto level. You want to level the camper out with leveling blocks when you get to your campsite. But having your stabilizer jacks being powered are nice. It just makes it a little bit easier to drop those down. Right here is your power awning. Touch a button to roll that out. Same thing to have it go right back in. It does have an LED light strip there. And your two outside speakers are located right there as well. Now, as we saw inside, those are controlled by that unit inside. However, as I mentioned, it is Bluetooth capable. So if you want to sit out here on your smartphone, you can control it. You also have an electrical outlet right out here. So if you need to plug anything in, that is the place to do it. And if we look at the entrance here, you'll notice you have 3 aluminum tread steps. Aluminum's great because it's not going to rust out on you. You also have grip tape on there for a little extra control in case it's wet. And you have the foldable grab handle right here just to give you that much more control when entering the RV. If we take a look right down below underneath the slide here, we can look at the wheels. And what you'll see is you have beautiful aluminum alloy wheels. And again, just like the steps, those aren't going to rust. They will stay looking nice and shiny for you. And for what it's worth to you, you also have nitrogen-filled tires. In the very back here, you'll see a couple things. Again, you have a control for your 2 rear stabilizer jacks. And then you have the outside kitchen. I really like this, or outside entertainment area, I guess you could call it, because it doesn't actually come with any kind of cooking utensil. But you have the TV right up top here. It's on a swing arm, so you can kind of spin that to however you want. You know, sit right out here, watch the game, whatever else you want to watch. Light up top. Refrigerator, it's almost a necessity. This is the main reason I want it, just because of this. So that way you open it up, you have your beverages in here, your condiments, everything's nice and easy to get to. Drawer right here. It is a little high. You know, it's slightly awkward if you're short. You might have to kind of stand up on your tippy toes, but you know, at least there is a drawer there, so that way you can have some of your plasticware and stuff in there. And right down below, you have this guy. This pulls out, nice little prep space. You know, if you want to put like a little like grill or something on here, you can do that too, because right down below, you do have the propane quick connect. So that way you can hook that up. You'll also see you have a spray port right here, so if you do need water access, you have cold water access there. If we come around to the back side, you'll see the bumper. This one does have the square tubular bumper with the end caps. You can take those caps off. That way it'll give you a good spot to store your sewer hose. You'll also see you have a spare tire mounted on there with a cover. Hopefully you never have to use this, but in the event that you do, having a spare tire on the bumper is probably the easiest place to get to it. You don't have to get down on your hands and knees to get underneath the camper. Plus it has a cover which will help keep it in better shape. You can't really see it, but you do have a fully enclosed and heated underbelly there, so that way, you know, if you are camping a little bit later in the season, hopefully things won't freeze up on you. Plus, it'll help keep some rodents out and a lot of the road grime while traveling down the road. Right up top there is a backup camera prep. So folks, it's a pretty decent sized bunkhouse. If you want a backup camera, having the prep there makes it a lot easier to have it installed, meaning it will save you money on labor. And right over here to the side is your cable inlet. Right here in between the two slides on your off-door side is where your 50 amp detachable power cord will plug into. And if you take a look in front of the axles there, you will see both of your terminations. They are pretty close to each other. If you're at a seasonal lot, I definitely recommend getting a Y, or if you're going to be somewhere where the dump station is right at the campsite. Otherwise, pulling up to the dump station is pretty easy. I mean, it's close enough you can literally just take it off one and hook it up to the other, which is pretty nice. You don't have to get back in the truck to move the camper. Right over here, you will see the black tank flush. This is great when you're done camping. Instead of sticking a hose down your toilet to wash out your black tank, you put the hose right here. That black tank has sprayers built in, and it washes out anything that didn't feed out with gravity. And then right underneath that is your outside shower with both hot and cold water access. Last thing I want to touch on are your water inlets, which are right up front here. If you plan on doing some boondocking, you want to fill your fresh water tank, that is where you'll do it. And then right behind that is your city water inlet. All right, folks, that wraps it up. Again, this is a 2018 Keystone Springdale 332RB. If you're interested in this bunk model and you'd like price and availability, simply click on the link in the description below. Thanks again for watching. I'm Ian Baker, and let's go camping.